Sengoku Rance is one of the few H games available in English that's actually a game. It's a mix of strategy, micro and macro management with comedy and Eero to boot. You start out playing as Rance, a traveling adventurer who comes to Japan during the Warring States era with intentions of having sex with all the beautiful women in the country. He quickly allies himself with Oda Nobunaga and starts conquering the neighboring territories for the Oda house. Sometime into the game, Nobunaga becomes possessed by an ancient demon and you are forced to drive him out of Owari. Sometime later, the demon Nobunaga comes to power again and starts taking over all territory not already player controlled, at which point the player must conquer the rest of Japan and strike down Nobunaga and the demon possessing him once and for all. The general flow of the game revolves around managing your armies, talking with your commanders, and exploring dungeons. You get H scenes whenever you conquer most territories, usually with a fairly generic girl. Whenever you conquer a house completely, there's an H scene with some notable characters from within the house. Other sources of H scenes come from developing your relationship with your commanders or other miscellaneous events, such as visiting the hot springs. These scenes are usually not particularly detailed, with only one CG to go with the text, but the sheer number of them makes that forgivable. In addition to the main plotline, there are 3 bonus routes to play after completing the game once, each focusing on a different heroine. There's a plot for Uesugi Kenshin, centering around a series of duels to become the Emperor of Japan, a plot for Yamamoto Isokuru, which has a similar flow to the main game, but changes the roles many of the characters play, and a plotline for Nanjo Ran, a vassal of the Hojo house, wherein the possessed Nobunaga is sealed away early in the game, but now Japan must deal with an epidemic of ogres. All in all, it's an excellent game, and I recommend it to most people wanting an H game with more sophisticated gameplay. But the protagonist Rance is a flat-out asshole. If you're at all like me, you don't like seeing guys getting rewarded with sexual favors for things that should be getting their asses kicked. It's not that big a deal in the main storyline, but it's still kind of annoying. There's a lot of rape and pillaging going on, i.e. most of the enemy conquering H scenes are less than consensual, which doesn't bother me too much as I don't care about disrespect paid towards one's enemies. Where Sengoku Rance really aggravated me was the Nanjo Ran and Yamamoto Isokuru paths. The Nanjo Ran path involves a particularly nasty NTR scenario, perpetrated by Rance. The Isokuru path is about helping a woman conceive an heir so she can bring her family back to prominence, but Rance is less than honorable about the whole situation. As I said earlier, I'm not bothered by maltreatment of your enemies, but lying to, cheating, and raping your allies and friends is about as disgusting as it gets. So with that caveat, I still recommend the game, just be warned that it'll likely make even the most stalwart of hentai viewers rage a little bit.